Hello, friends. Please consider supporting the Flavors and Knowledge podcast. Donated proceeds are applied to absorb the cost of cooking classes and health education for children. Help a child affected with diabetes with a sponsorship donation toward adequately managing the condition through Food First. Chef Walter's Children Diabetes Foundation brings this message. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Flavors and Knowledge, the food learning podcast, where we strive for honest food talk and few opinions. I'm Chef Walter. Today we're going to be speaking about Fregola from the island of Sardinia. So let's dive into this and a little bit more about this wonderful type of pasta that has been around for thousands of years. The Sardinian Fregula is often considered one of the treasures of the Sardinian cuisine, and there is a primary ingredient in many of the delicious Sardinian recipes. Its history is very ancient, suggesting that the Fregola was already preparing in Sardinia over 1,000 years ago. It is, as I said, a type of pasta made with durum wheat, semolina, also known as Fregola, Fregua, succu, or casca, and it all depends on the area of the island where it is prepared. To be precise, the term Fregola is a translation that makes many people turn up their noses, and purists prefer to use the Sardinian names. Whether you prefer one form or another, the word's origin would seem to derive from the Latin ferculum, which translates into crumbs. The reason is simple. The peculiarity of the fregola is its format, crumbs, of a regular pasta of a more or less large size, made by kneading semolina in water for a while. And this pasta is then toasted in the oven, taking on a darker color and a perfect flavor. And because of its format, fregola can often be confused with couscous, the typical North African dish. However, the main difference between the two is in the cooking method that is used. For those of you who have cooked couscous, you know that it loves to be steamed, whereas the Sardinian fregola prefers the boiling or the risotto-style method. Color and taste differ from place to place, especially in the Campidano area where saffron is often added to the mixture. For the history aficionados, as you know, fregola has ancient origins, and according to several scholars, this type of pasta spread on the Sardinian island thanks primarily to commercial exchanges with Phoenicians and Punics. Others argue that its creation was exclusively due to its residents. Fregola does not appeal to everyone, and it is rarely used in the mainland, regardless of its birthplace. It is much more prevalent among Instagrammers, I should say. In the 14th century, documents that the statue of the millers at Tempio Pausania, one of the most historical locations in the island, offers evidence that its preparation could only be carried out from Monday through Friday, thus conserving water for the agricultural work that was scheduled for the weekend. Knowing the natural history of the typical Sardinian pasta is perhaps impossible, and the certainty we have is that the fregola is one of the most important symbols of the island's tradition. Its rough texture and consistency makes it a perfect product for various sauces and preparation, and the chef's creativity here is mandatory. If you're into cooking the fregola, let me just give you some suggestions. With this type of pasta, There is one dish that I specifically suggest, and it's called Fregola con cuciula, and it's offered in the largest city of the island, Cagliari. The habit of seasoning Fregola with sauces, with tomato or white fish is widespread, however, throughout the island. But not only, the Sardinian Fregula lends itself to many different preparations, from the richest one, like the one with seafood just mentioned, to others of a less important ingredients. There is one in particular I like. It's called the Fregola in casada, which is a first course to which you add simple parsley, tomato, sometimes saffron, and lots of pecorino cheese. And that will make a wonderful first course if you're into for something less expensive. In addition to traditional recipes, the product can also find use in more complex dishes and diverse combinations. Chefs today use the risottando method, which is cooking the fregola in the style of a typical risotto, adding broths by ladleful at a time. It's ideal in soups, seasonal vegetables, and of course with dry raw known as botarga. The only limitation in using this material is creativity and guiding yourself by your taste to create dishes that you like. Remember, however, to always use the fregola of the most suitable size for your recipe type. Large fregola for the risotto type, and finer fregola for soups and sauces. You can purchase it, I think, in every one of either online stores or perhaps a Mediterranean store near you. It is particularly popular right now. We'll reconnect on the next round with another interesting food talk and few opinions, I promise. Invest in your health through food first. Stay well. Ciao, ciao.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.